Hello, parents of the Capricorn child. Welcome to my channel. This is Elena Valdez, and I'm so happy to finally be doing this. I've been wanting to get this channel off the ground now for quite a while, and I've stopped myself for various reasons and whatnot, and I'm finally getting this done. So I hope that this information is helpful to someone out there. I have been called to do this to guide parents who need guidance. You know, there's so much going on in the world right now, and our children and the children that we look after are feeling it. So again, hope this is helpful. Feel free to leave a comment. And I'm also interested in knowing what age range you are here for, because this will help kind of guide my readings moving forward. If you have any comments or suggestions, please leave them. All my information is below on the links, okay? Alrighty. Oh, and also please be patient with any potential glitches that may come up. I am still learning to navigate through this whole process. So your patience is so valued and appreciated. Thank you. All right, so let's get started. We are going to do a 3-question spread, and then we will end with advice from Spirit for the parent. Okay, so I chose this tarot deck because we are pulling the first 3 questions are from the perspective of the child. So I thought it would be great to find a tarot deck that would really exude the energy and that vibration of the child's perspective. And I found this beautiful deck. I am so in love with this deck. I think the designer and the creator of this deck and the designer did an amazing job, and I have to send like major accolades their way. And I will be setting their information here on the links below, so that you also know how to contact them in case you want to order your own deck. Alrighty, let's get started. And this is for the Capricorn child. Thank you, Spirit. Now, I have already pre-shuffled these cards. However, I will give it a little shuffle in front of you, only because I know how important that is. Okay, so the first question is going to be, what is the Capricorn child experiencing during the month of October? What is the Capricorn child experiencing during the month of October? Okay, what is the Capricorn child experiencing during the month of October? One card, please, Spirit. What is the Capricorn child experiencing during the month of October? There we go. Oh, the luminary. Okay, I'll come back to this card, but isn't this adorable? I love these cards. Okay, so that's the first position. Next position is, what are the challenges or challenge that the Capricorn child is going through in October? Oops, it's too many. Actually, no, it's 2. I'm going to take them. I hope you can see that. Still getting a hang of the angles. And the next question is, what does your Capricorn child need most from you? I find that this position, what is it that your Capricorn child needs most from you, is the most important position. For me, at least, that's how I feel. What does your child, Capricorn child, need most from you, from the parent? What does the Capricorn child need most from their parent? during the month of October. I'm not surprised that you got pentacles, double pentacles, considering the Capricornian energy, right? Okay, what does the Capricorn child need most? One card, please. One, don't worry, it'll come back if it was meant to be. One card, please. What does the Capricorn child need most? Ooh, oh wow. We've got some, let's see, do I want to take all of these? Okay. Alrighty, let's get started. Let me put this here, okay. Okay, first of all, I am so stoked to get the luminary. This is the first sign that has gotten the luminary. I have been wondering when this was going to happen, and of course, leave it for little Cappy to get the luminary. And the reason this is so special is because this particular tarot deck added the luminary. The luminary is actually not something that usually is in any other deck, or not an original, not something you would see in the Rider-Waite original deck. It actually precedes the Fool, which makes it even more special. And, you know, when I first read the definition, and we'll reread it, we'll read it out loud, because for those of you who know tarot, you won't be familiar with this particular creator of this deck and their interpretation. So I'll go ahead and read it. I thought the description of the luminary for me described an indigo child so well. And even though it doesn't say anything about an indigo child in the description, for me, and it makes sense that a deck that resembles the vibration of the child would have this additional card before the Fool. So for those of you who know tarot, or those of you who don't know tarot, all tarot decks begin with the Fool. The Fool being number 0, or having no 0, because it's where everything begins. So the tarot is the story of the Fool's journey. But in this particular deck that we're seeing here, they added luminary, which I feel so strongly that this is the indigo child. And I'm going to read you the definition from the book, because, you know, this is new for us, right? So the definition: revealing the unseen, hope, guiding light. As darkness fills the sky, the luminary brings warmth and light to those around her. Pure, vibrant energy blazes through the night as it pours forth from her hands and attire. 2 light flies are harnessing her energy to use as a guiding light. The luminary resides in the perfect place between dark and light. She embodies the power of the sun and the moon, the day and the night. She is here to show you how to see hope in the shadows, how to be the light in the darkness. You may not see the way, but the path is there. This is beautiful. So this is what I'm already getting out of the bat for your Capricornian. First of all, this is a general reading. It's not going to apply for everyone. But already what I'm sensing is we've got some indigo children here that we're dealing with, right? And when you have a child that's that special, that comes into this world knowing what, as adults, we're still trying to figure out and learn. You have these children that are coming in with these beautiful, it's just like they're coming in with knowing that it has taken us years to kind of scratch the surface on, right? And when we're just a regular Joe Schmo, adult parenting a child who is this special, it can be intense, right, for the parent, and offer lots of opportunity for growth for the parents involved, because really this child will make you see, it will make you see both light and dark with this beautiful balance, as the indigo children know to do. So your little luminary, so now your little Cappy, your little luminary, is doing this in the month of October, and actually is already doing this and probably will continue to do throughout the rest of the year. And that's just something strongly that I sense. So there's something that your Cappy child is doing in your household, in your community, in their school, that's setting them aside, or setting them apart, excuse me, from everything else that's going on in the world, to be used as an example of that balance of light and dark. You have a true, what would I call this? I don't want to say a dark warrior, a warrior of dark, but sort of someone who can alchemize that already so early on in their little life, right? And again, you're going to have different age ranges here, right? So you'll know how to apply this to your Cappy. But yeah, you have a powerful little being. You have someone that's way ahead of their soul's years, not just of their age, but way ahead of the soul, way ahead of your souls and all your collected souls in the household. So you may be dealing with a child who is very intuitive, very special, and you're seeing it a lot right now at the end of the year, but especially here in October. Very nice. So this is what your child is experiencing this. So your child is experiencing this fullness of the cosmos and being supported, right? Like, see how supported she feels there. She looks like she's completely supported, and she knows it. She's confident. She's not fearing anything. She's confident in her ability. So you probably have a little Cappy who's very confident in their ability. And there's a sense of alchemy here, almost a little magician-like, right? But on a different level, right? This is combining and blending the light and dark here. Truly, I see this as the indigo child. Okay, so that's what's going on with your little Cappy. So wow, whew. Okay. And so the challenge for the Cappy, and it makes sense, right? So we've got Pentacles in the position of challenge, and Pentacles is all things material, right? But it can also be time. But in this case, it's all things material. So whatever it takes to accomplish things, accomplish your projects, get your projects done. And I'm saying this, remember, I'm using examples in the context of how children would work with this energy. And in this case, it could be as simple as your child really wants to be in this space of yumminess, this yummy spiritual knowing of all knowing that isn't really consistent with the things that are material, right? And so you may have this Two of Pentacles is having to choose, having to choose between two tangibles, or between two things or ideas, or even time. Because in the context of children, I feel that Pentacles for me show up as time, right? So where they're spending their time, right? Are they spending the time creating projects? Are they spending their time accomplishing for the result of materialism or whatever, versus this, right? So, and this is the other card of finding true independence in all things tangible, right? Like, this person's not suffering. This person has everything they need. They're at the Nine of Pentacles. They're almost at the Ten of Pentacles. So you have a child here who is struggling with what that means and what that requires, because it requires time and effort. So you have someone here who wants to be this luminary, focused on whatever this is. And it could be as simple as going outside to play with ladybugs and talking to them, versus getting great grades or finishing that project or putting time into chores, you know, whatever is considered material in the context of your child's age, because we have to keep that into consideration as well, right? So Pentacles in the perspective, from the perspective of the child, isn't necessarily going to be how it resonates for us as adults in our material world, right? But this can be having all the toys you want, having the independence to create all the projects you want, and being a little like having to juggle those two realities. Aren't these just adorable? Look how cute that is. So I think that's the challenge for your little Cappy. You know, you have material versus luminary energy. So when this comes up in the challenge position, it's a great opportunity for the parent to be called to action, to be aware. Be aware. Where can you help your child get this balance, so that he or she doesn't feel the burden of having to shift? Like, how can you as a parent help this child balance the two realities, right? Because one is very material centric, while the other one is about dreaming and being in a different space of spirituality. That may actually be foreign to the parent, because again, we're talking about a child here who's way ahead of our spiritual knowing, right? And so it's just something to be aware of. Or maybe paying attention to your child's uniqueness and how does it conflict with something else he or she is doing, and how can you facilitate or ease this tension of having to choose between the two. So this is going to work out differently for everyone. Of course, every household will be different, but I think you'll get it. You'll understand it when you hear this. You'll know how that applies for you. Okay, so then we move over to what your little Cappy needs most from you in the month of October. And you got the Star, which is also representative of the Aquarius sign. And then you got King of Swords. So both are air, okay? And it's interesting because, you know, here you got your child all wound up here in this Pentacles energy, but this is the challenge, but this is really what he or she is experiencing down on a soul level, right? And what your child needs from you is to bring the logic. This is logic. King of Swords is having the logic, having the words, having the correct, the words that will work for whatever instance those words are required. Okay. So, and it's paired with the Star, which is all about faith, which is all about free flowing, which is all about being connected to your spiritual side and your intuition. So what your child needs most from you is to communicate, almost give him or her permission to be in the energy of the Star, to be in this energy. In other words, bringing logic, backing up intuition and spirituality with logic. I hope that's making sense. So some individuals, and especially not so much children, I think we struggle more with it when we get older, but I think sometimes when we just want to free flow, at whatever age you are, right? Sometimes if you're somebody who requires logic or justification, you just need to hear, oh, you want to go, read about or go play with whatever it is that your child needs. Like, oh, you want to go read about the cosmos. Sure, honey, that's okay. Like, no problem. You want to just flow. You want to talk about spirituality or whatever it is that you want to do. Sure, honey, that's a great idea. Let's do that. Of course you can do that. So, and again, it's going to be different for every household, but that's what your child, your little Cappy needs. Your Cappy needs your permission, your logic to work with this free-flowing side, right? Your child needs to know that it's okay. That it doesn't have to be so focused on the tangible, because remember, we're talking about a Capricorn here. You know, Capricorns are very, you know, they're an earth sign, right? So they're grounded in that tangibility. Like that's usually what makes them feel safe and secure, is creating something tangible, right? With material result. And so you may have a child that's already feeling both sides of that, right? Feeling that Capricornian urge to achieve and feeling this other. And it doesn't mean that they cannot coexist. It's a matter of figuring how to integrate all of this. But I'm getting, based on these cards, your child needs you to be the King of Swords and be that logical, honest, truthful parent with words, transparent with your words, yet compassionate in justifying that it's okay, that it's okay to flow in this energy, which is very similar, by the way. The star is very, very similar to the luminary. So, right? These are just stunning, aren't they? Okay, I know. Maybe one day I'll stop saying that, but I think so far in every reading I have said how wonderful these cards are. I hope that makes sense. So give your little Cappy the okay, the reassurance, and the words to the logical, the permission and justification to move into this energy. It's okay to integrate both. Okay, so that's that part of it. Let's move into the advice from Spirit for you, the parent. So I'm going to use this deck here, the Gaian Tarot, and I'm just going to pull one card. And this deck, even though it's tarot cards, I kind of use them like a blend of tarot and oracle, because they have this beautiful, each card has a beautiful affirmation. And that's what we're going to focus on, the affirmation for you in terms of the advice. So what advice do you have for the parent of the Capricorn child, Spirit? What advice do you have? Let's see, what advice do you have for the Capricorn parent, the parent of the Capricorn child? Just one card. Nine of Water. Nice. So that's the Nine of Cups. How beautiful is that? I love this. This is just beautiful. And do you see anything familiar there? I mean, you can't make this stuff up, right? Look at this. This person is opening their arms to the luminary light, right? That abundant light that's inexplicable, that we know comes from something more special than just the light coming through, piercing through that cave. It's the light that comes out of us, that comes from the guiding light, whatever it is that you call sacred. And it's in your advice section. So let me get the affirmation for it. Let's see. So I think this is definitely confirmation that it looks like this is a household movement almost, if that makes any sense. But it feels like your household in general is going through some deep, there's something going on in the household that's maybe having everyone need to pause in a different way than perhaps you're used to in the spiritual manner. So what Spirit is asking of you here is for you, the parent, to connect to Spirit. And again, that's going to vary. That's going to, whatever that is, it could be nature. You could nature can symbolize that to you. Water can symbolize that to you. God or the universe or empress, emperor, whatever, God, goddess, whatever it is that you hold sacred. Spirit, the advice that Spirit has. And remember, this is in relationship to your child. So it's not just advice for you on your own. It's advice for you for the betterment of your child, right? So the affirmation for this card is, true happiness is found in my connection to Spirit. So I think that the more comfortable you are with your own connection with Spirit, the more comfortable your child is going to be with their own connection with Spirit. And I think that this is beautiful advice, period. Right? But it's all about, again, it's emotional, it's mystical experiences, it's connection with, it's praising nature around you. In whatever way that you feel you can do that and serve as an example to your little Cappy child, that's what Spirit wants you to do. That's your advice. Okay, I hope this was helpful, and please leave a comment, and I hope to see you again or have you join again next month. Okay, take care, and any info you need from me is down below in the links. Okay, have a great October.